Well, right in the heart of energetic and downtown Denver is one of my favorite spots, and that is Tamayo. It is back open and after undergoing a renovation phase. And look, Tamayo was already awesome before, but now it's an even cooler space. Oh my gosh, I was there on Saturday night, and what can I say? Because I'm a huge Mexican cuisine foodie, and I loved the food and the new vibe. So of course, I'm super excited and a true pleasure to welcome the talented Chef Richard Sandoval to the Coco Kitchen. Chef, buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
It's so good to have you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for having me on Saturday. And I had a delicious, delicious dinner. I had the tan pequeña, so it was just awesome. I felt like I was on vacation.
And I think that's kind of what we wanted to transmit, to people is, Tamayo, it's the old, but now the new. But you walk into this warm, cozy place, especially right now in the winter, right, where it's cold outside. You walk in and you feel that warmth, right?
I think you achieved that vibe because we just felt so great, like we were on a mini vacation. Okay, there's been so much going on at Tamayo because you guys were closed for a little bit.
For about 2 months only, yeah.
2 months, and now it's back open. People can come out and check out the new place.
Yeah, we're looking forward to welcoming, it's always been a busy restaurant, right? And people always say, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why are you fixing it? And it's just, after 25 years, it's not that it was broken. It still was growing. But I just wanted, Denver, to kind of see a new look and feel, right? Restaurants today are more than just about food. It's a lifestyle. So you have to have the lighting, the music, the food. So I think before we had the food, maybe not necessarily the design. So for me, it was important to kind of bring that element back.
Yeah, and I think you guys did such a good job. Okay, so you reopened this week. What can people expect with the changes? I know the atmosphere is fantastic, but any changes to the menu? Yes,
so I think, about 70% of the menu stayed the same.
Okay.
Right? And then, a lot of, new items, new dishes. We have, a roasted salmon with huevo a la talla, which is marinated in spices and herbs with some esquites. And then maybe some of the old dishes, we just kind of, tweak them a little bit. My mantra's always been old ways, new hands.
Yeah.
So I can, take these old items and kind of just modernize them a little bit. Here we have one of my personal favorite dishes. People always ask me, what would be your last dish if you're not going to be here anymore, right?
Yes, okay.
And I always say tacos al pastor. Yes.
Tacos al pastor.
And why? Because Mexican food is very bold, right?
Oh, yes.
So here you have a pork that's been marinated in chilies and herbs, so you get that earthiness. Then you have grilled pineapple, which gives it a tone of sweetness. Yes. Then you have some onions, some cilantro. And then you have an amazing salsa verde cruda. So I think it really exemplifies, the boldness of Mexican, cuisine.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I knew these were tacos al pastor when I saw the pineapple because that's classic tacos al pastor.
Yeah, so it's comfort food, street food. But then, you had a tan pequeña.
Tan pequeña.
With a great mole. Mole, not that many people know about it, but it's a chocolate sauce. People get scared because it's chocolate, but no, it's
delicious.
It's delicious.
Yes.
Very diverse, very, like I say, very deep because there's so many spices and herbs. And then you finish off a little bit of chocolate, so it brings like a sweetness element to it.
The mole enchiladas were out of this world. They had the cheese inside with the mushrooms. They blew me away, and I'm a huge fan of mole, so I'm a pretty tough judge when it comes to mole. What else have you brought, Chef? Because the drinks are spectacular, just all around.
Yeah, so I said earlier, restaurants today is a lifestyle, so people expect, not just great food, but they also expect, great cocktails. So we have a great mixologist, and here you have a classic, kind of mango margarita, a little bit of tajin and chili on the rim. Sometimes, you can upgrade it with a little bit of a mezcal to give it a little bit of smokiness.
Yes.
Then you have a classic mojito, which is kind of a take on a Cuban, but you use rum. And rum, it's Caribbean, but also, we have great rums in Mexico. So, and we want to have, diversity also where, you have not just, tequilas and mezcals, but also, use some great rums.
There's options for everybody and whatever palate it is you want to satisfy. And I want to mention, because I also love arroz con leche. Like, that's one of my favorite desserts, right? Yes, I love it. You have a dessert on the menu that touches on arroz, but it's so different, and I loved it. How did you come up with that?
It's a little, I use as an example, I have sticky rice and mango in Thailand. So I was in Thailand over the summer. I said, well, how do we tropicalize that and make Mexicanize it, right? So it's the same thing, but instead of, they use a lot of cinnamon, we use agua de horchata, which is a rice milk. We infuse it with some, sugar, some syrups, and then pour it on top, a little bit of mango to kind of freshen it up. So that's a kind of, a modern take
It's
on
a modern
classic.
take on rice pudding.
Rice
But
pudding,
I can tell
exactly.
you that it was a triumph. I mean, I was like this, oh my gosh, I've never had anything like this before, and it was wonderful to taste something so different and so delicious. Okay, we want to touch on why the community is so big to you at the end of the day after all the food and the drinks. There's community love there.
Right. Well, I think as a chef and as a leader in the industry, I have a responsibility, for younger generations. I have a cohort program called Old Ways, New Hands, where I'm kind of trying to download all my information. I'm also transferring that to my children as they're working with me, so passing the torch to them. But also, along a lot of new chefs and these newer generations, I want to, help them not make so many mistakes when you open a restaurant. It's such a difficult industry. So I've made all those mistakes, right? So. Help them avoid that. So with this program, we're kind of, it's part of my legacy, to kind of transfer all this information. We also have a program called Viva Abejas, which is Long Live the Bees, which not many people know, but the bees' habitats were very affected, during COVID and after. So we're trying to learn more about it, and through these, this platform that we have, raising funds, raising awareness. Today we have the kids from the Boys and Girls Club, doing a little class with them. So education I think is important, right?
Yes, and I love that you share your talent to others. Well, Chef, a true pleasure to have you here today, and I will be by very soon.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I need to have
Really
that dessert
appreciate it.
again and those mole enchiladas. Oh, just saying. Okay, Tamayo's new space is now open, and you definitely need to go check it out. You can check out the new menu and standout drinks. Book your reservation now. Just go on the website, tamayodenver.com, and of course, remember to please drink responsibly.